Rin recalls how she got trapped in another world, remembering an old pedophile man with bad intentions grabbing her while a cyborg woman approached. Meanwhile, the Uzra Federation group heads to the Low Foundation, which makes Ashran's lazy ass complain about going on another expedition so soon after defeating the demon queen Vanessa. Saki gets frustrated and reminds him that other countries are seeking help and that their leader Jean is the beacon of hope for everyone right now. Kai then gets a flashback to 5 days ago when he and Rin were cleaning the capital. Back then Rin noticed a strange smell, and as they moved toward it, the smell vanished, and Rin's slow brain realized too late that it was a trap set by demons. It is Vanessa's sister named Hinameral, who is also a succubus, who traps Rin and Kai inside a demon barrier that is so strong to the point that even Kai's code holder sword couldn't penetrate through it. Hinameral is pleased that her sister Vanessa is dead and offers Kai a deal, stating that the humans can keep the royal capital, but demons will control everything else. Kai agrees to relay the message to Jean but remains silent otherwise. Hinameral encourages Kai to fight other races while the demons watch, even offering him a kiss if he does so, but our boy Kai is Sigma Chad, who is always locked in, so he refuses. As she leaves, Hinameral mocks Rin, calling her ugly and weird, and warns them to be aware of Alfreya, the celestial hero, since he is autistic nowadays. Later, Kai and Saki discuss their mission regarding the Low Federation, where they aim to defeat the Celestials, dwarves, elves, and other magical creatures who use powerful magic in battle and are like enhanced humans compared to the monstrous demons. Just as Jean announces a rest stop for the team, Rin suddenly tells Kai to open the window, revealing a mythical dragon above them. Everyone is puzzled since they are in demon territory. The dragon then attacks them, destroying some of their vehicles, but Kai and Rin manage to strike it together, forcing the creature to retreat like a scared cat. Kai and Rin share a large tent, but Jean ruins this, saying that it's reserved for commanding officers and that they both volunteered to be bodyguards for Jean. Rina then calls Kai to come outside and reminds Kai that he's supposed to be a bodyguard inside, since Jean's gender could be discovered if people see her alone with her in a single tent. Rina also jokingly warns Kai not to get any horny and inappropriate ideas about Jean, especially since she'll be in light attire. Little does she know that our boy Kai is always locked in. Kai agrees to what Rina says, assuring her that he won't, and enters the tent, where he finds Rin giving Jean an overly passionate massage while Jean enjoys it. That night, Kai struggles to sleep, caught between Rin on one side and Jean on the other like an absolute Chad, feeling both flustered and fortunate. The next day, they reach the 8th city, Cassiopeia, just outside the Low Federation capital, where the rebel army's HQ is located. On the way, Kai tells Saki how to identify Celestials since they resemble humans. After arriving, they are warmly greeted by the Low Federation rebel army. The group then goes on to meet Dante, the rebel army's commander. The soldier who escorts them asks Rina if she knows about Dante, to which she responds with a detailed description, labeling him as a paranoid psychopath obsessed with everything. The soldier says that she is right but assures them that they will cooperate despite their challenging commander. They are then greeted by the assistant commander, Pyrie, who Rin takes to be very suspicious. Jean then talks to Dante, who is ungrateful for Jean's help. Jean advises him to behave like a true commander, stating that respect and honor will be earned once they reclaim the Low Federation. Jean and the others then discuss their knowledge of the Celestials with the Low Federation rebel army team. They have no clue where the celestial hero is located, so Jean takes charge, expressing her willingness to sacrifice herself for the people, which amazes the soldiers, who see her as a true hero. The next day, Rin, Ashran, and Saki are eating when Ashran starts simping for Pyrie, the assistant commander, praising her beauty. Rin finds something suspicious about Pyrie but remains silent when Kai asks her about it. The next day, Jean shares new information she gathered from exploring the Elven Forest with the soldiers, but Dante and Pyrie are absent. Meanwhile, Pyrie suggests to Dante that he should personally venture into the Elven Forest to capture some angels and elves as war prisoners to regain his lost respect and solidify his position as the true commander. Trusting his supposedly loyal assistant, Dante follows her advice. As Kai and Jean exit a meeting, Rin tells Kai that she doesn't think Pyrie is human, which surprises Kai. Meanwhile, the Lord of Heavens, Alfreya, becomes increasingly racist and egotistical, severing ties with inferior races like elves and dwarves. The other races wonder what has happened to him, but it becomes clear that his behavior is influenced by the cyborg creature standing next to him. The elves and dwarves are cooked by Lord Alfreya. Lord Alfreya, seemingly controlled by the cyborg beside him, attacks, roasting the elves and dwarves. He then encases the Great Elder in ice while Rieren narrowly escapes by falling from Alfreya's platform. Rieren wakes up the next day, breathing heavily. Her people are relieved to see the Shrine Maiden awake and ask her about the Great Elder. She tells everyone to remain calm and orders orders them to gather everyone, including the dwarves, so she can explain what happened. When asked about the captured humans, she is initially confused but then becomes angry at the mention of humans. Meanwhile, Jean, Kai, and their search party come across Dante's squad, who were captured after being lured into a trap by Kairi. Jean inquires about Dante's disappearance, and Rina explains that he's been missing since the day before. Jean finds it unusual since Dante is aware of the dangers in the elven forest. Kai suggests that someone likely led him into the trap and recalls that Kairi might be an elven spy. Since elves can disguise themselves as humans by altering their ears, it's hard to tell them apart. Jean suspects there might be more spies within the low rebel army, and they decide they need to investigate further. Ashran and Saki take the rear, ensuring Jean's safety. Jean trusts them since they are part of the squad that defeated Vanessa. As they move forward, they come across the guns of the low rebel army. Jean notes how obvious the trap is, but Kai points out that the real danger is above them. Jean is amazed by the hidden trap, cleverly camouflaged by the sunlight. Kai explains that such tactics were used in his old world and that elves are skilled in using multiple magics at once. Rin then detects the presence of an elf, leading the group toward it. Kai explains that Rin is trained to sense magical creatures, as he can't fully reveal her true abilities. Suddenly, Rin loses the scent, and the group is abruptly teleported through a portal. Ashran and Saki land on each other as they emerge from the portal, with Ashran accidentally touching Saki's butt. Saki warns him not to take advantage of the situation. Kai mentions that what they experienced was a gate used by Celestials for teleportation. Just then, a little girl runs past, chasing a butterfly, and bumps into Ashran. She asks if he's from around there because she can't sense any magic from him. When Ashran tells her they are humans, she gets scared and runs away, fearing they might eat her. Jean and the others follow the child and soon arrive at an elven city, where two elven archers prepare to attack. However, Assistant Commander Kairi intervenes and orders the archers to stand down. Jean asks Kairi about Dante and the others, to which Kairi responds that they are fine but unconscious after inhaling a poisonous plant. Kairi then states her condition for releasing Dante, that Jean must defeat Alfreya, the celestial hero, which should be easy for someone who has already defeated Vanessa. Kai is puzzled, believing that elves and angels were closely allied, but Kairi explains that the angels betrayed them first. She then leads the group to meet Riuran, who greets them, remarking that it's the first time humans have entered an elven village. Riuran introduces herself as the Shrine Maiden and confirms whether Jean truly defeated Vanessa. When Riuran notices Jean's elven garment, Jean explains that she took it from demons, not from elves, so Riuran overlooks it. Riuran then presents an offer that she will release Dante and the others if they help rescue the Great Elder from Lord Alfreya. Kai is confused, wondering why the celestial hero suddenly captured their Great Elder. Riuran explains that Alfreya has changed recently. Something has affected him. She describes how Alfreya suddenly became racist, insisting that all other races should be subservient to him. When Riuran and the Great Elder confronted him, Alfreya became enraged and froze the Great Elder, and Riuran barely escaped. Riuran admits that Alfreya won't listen to them, and they can't fight the angels alone, so they need help. Jean questions how they can trust Riuran and if this might be a trap. Kairi assures them that she will accompany them to the Angel Palace and will sacrifice her life if they feel betrayed. Rina responds that one life isn't worth their six, but Riuran steps in, offering to join them personally. She promises they can take her life on the spot if they doubt her intentions. Riuran emphasizes that even if humans anger Alfreya, dwarves and other magical creatures must avoid a civil war with the angels. Late at night, while everyone is asleep, Kai keeps watch. Riuran approaches him and assures him she won't take any action until their contract is fulfilled. As expected, Riuran asks Kai about Vanessa and how he defeated her, wondering if his power will be effective against Alfreya. Kai confidently replies that it will work. He then tries his luck by asking about Prophet Sid, but Riuran shows no signs of recognizing anyone by that name. Kai feels disheartened, as he still hasn't found his idol. He recalls Vanessa's words about how one of the heroes is connected to the strange occurrences in the timeline. The next day, Jean and the others set out with Riuran, who leads them through portals. Kai remarks on the cleverness of using portals to avoid humans, but Riuran responds that humans aren't a threat, other races are. They go through another portal and find angels on the ground, surrounded by fire. Although confused, they continue on their journey. Riuran's use of portals makes their travel swift, a fact Jean quickly notices. Suddenly, they are attacked by a war angel named Vicious, who tells Riuran she can smell her presence and demands that she submit to Lord Alfreya and kill the group. Saki, Ashran, and Rina engage Vicious in battle while the others move to the next portal. On the next floor, they are confronted by another creature called Raffaello. Rin decides to handle Raffaello and urges Kai and Jean to move forward with Rieren. Jean confesses that she wanted to stay with Kai but couldn't be with him earlier when he defeated Vanessa. Kai is pleased and tells Rin to join them once she's done. They finally reach the final stage, where 5 portals lead to Alfreya's chamber, heavily protected to keep him safe. They speak with the Great Elder, and Alfreya descends from above, declaring that all blessings come from the heavens and that only angels deserve them. He adds that the earth is now filled with rage.